let who you are, and what you believe in shine through every sentence you write and every piece you finish. This was a poster in my high school English teacher's classroom, and I felt that this quote was really appropriate for the speech that I'm about to give y'all because I feel that the underlying message is saying, what do you want to be remembered for in the future? What do you want to be remembered for 10 years from now? As you can see, I have a list of sources here that will help you kind of guide your way through my speech. That way you guys can kind of get a better understanding of what I'm telling you all about. So there's 3 things I want to be remembered for 10 years from now. Number 1 is my recognition as an Aggie. Number 2 is my outgoing and laid-back personality. And number 3 is, of course, always putting my family first. So let's start with my education at Texas A&M. Texas A&M has provided me with many lifelong experiences and friendships I probably wouldn't gain elsewhere. I've learned a lot about myself as far as my personality, my leadership skills, my character, and my determination is considered both inside and outside classes. I really feel that Texas A&M was the perfect fit for me because it fits my personality and my lifestyle. Growing up in a small country town, agriculture was a huge impact in my life. But of course, when people always ask me why I chose Texas A&M, I had to give them a better reason other than, oh, I was your typical brainwashed fish campy that attended school my summer of my freshman year. So when I did some research, I discovered on mydiplomaguide.com that Texas A&M is ranked in one of the top 5 universities in the state of Texas. Not bad, falling below Rice in Texas and above SMU and Baylor. Another reason why I'm proud to be known as an Aggie is that the Aggie Network is something that no one has ever said a negative thing about. There's this thing that comes with being an Aggie that, well, the Aggie Traditions Club has a quote that says, from the outside looking in, you can't understand it, and from the inside looking out, you can't explain it. This is something that really signifies the meaning of being an Aggie. There are a lot of people that don't attend school here that may not understand what our infamous whoops and wildcats, and of course, why do Aggies hump it at football games? Of course, we all know that it's because we want to make ourselves yell louder, but people that aren't associated with our school might not know that. So, of course, I think that it's really cool to be a part of something that's much greater than myself, which is why I think that it's really cool that I want to be remembered for being an Aggie at Texas A&M University. Now, as I hit on personalities and leadership confrontations and others of that sort, this leads me to my second point for why I want to be remembered for my personality. My dad always said I never had a serious bone in my body, which is true because I'm a very laid-back, outgoing individual, formerly known as a Type B personality. Type B individuals is more of a fancy term for, like I said, outgoing and laid-back. I'm very calm, I'm very collected, I never really get stressed out, and of course, I found it kind of interesting that, if you look, we make our bondings through social and emotional connections. And we don't sweat the small stuff. I like to think of life as one big party, and I also found it pretty cool on AskSeriousAreYouJeff.com that Type B individuals, we don't suffer from stress disorders and, of course, hypertension disorders because stress is obviously not a factor for us. And in a situation where I'm trying to make light of the situation with my personality would be this one time my dad was sitting me down and having a serious conversation with us, and he was putting a lot of pressure on my future and what I wanted to do with my education, but I really didn't want the pressure sitting on my shoulders like that, so I took my hair tie off my wrist and shot it at his face, missing it by like a centimeter. He didn't think it was too funny, but before he could get on to me, he started laughing and quoted, "Typical Danni, using her personality, using her humor to try to get out of a tough situation," which I couldn't argue with my dad because dads are never wrong. Which, of course, my dad caring about my future leads me to my third and final point for why I wanted to be remembered for putting family first. Family is the glue that holds all people together, and I like to think that it's the root of all happiness. And for you to have a close-knit family, you have to have close relationships. With a close relationship, it entails communication, spending time with each other, and of course, being able to relate with one another on a social and emotional level. I'm really thankful for the family that I was raised in because my parents were very dedicated to me and my 2 brothers growing up. There were 3 of us, and no matter how involved we were in any extracurriculars, they were always there to help show their support, whether it be at a basketball game, football game, or FFA banquet. They were always the first ones there and the last ones to leave. So you can kind of see why family is a very big part in my life and why I want to be remembered for that third and final point. So in conclusion, what I have to ask you guys is, what do you want to be remembered for in the future? Just remember that what you do is up to you, and the choices that you make today will depict who you are tomorrow.